Okay, just got home a little bit ago. An article that Frank Gifford died today. This day a lot. Who knows? It's 8-9. It's all about Elizabeth, 89 years old this year. And let's pull it up here. So she's 89. Actually, today is her 63rd year, 6th month, and 3rd day as queen. So 63 and 63. And she's all about the 52s and 62s. We've also seen 52 a ton. Like she became queen at age 25 on 2/6 of 52, the mirrors. She was coordinated on 6/2, 62 years ago. Her mom died on the 89th day of the year, and that is 52 days after her 50th year reign, and that was on 2/6 of 02, 2/6/2. American Pharaoh was surrounded, but whatever, I spelled it wrong, by 52s, and the queen is basically the American Pharaoh. And then you got Princess Charlotte born on 5/2. 5/2 is the 122nd day of the year. We've seen a lot with Pope Francis heads up to 122. San Francisco 122. Trainwreck, like the movie, 122. Tons of stuff with that. It all connects here. The mirror of this would be 221. 221 is the 52nd day of the year. 8-9 is the 221st day of the year. I mean, the list goes on here. You can read this. But anyway, Frank Gifford died at the age of 84. And I thought this was kind of weird because I thought I made a video about him a long time ago, but I actually just wrote it down in my notes and I never actually made a video. It involved Sonny Bono and I can't think of the Michael Kennedy or whatever, because they both died in skiing accidents, and it kind of tied in with him. But anyway, I just wanted to look through here to see some of the numbers. So we had 84, like Obama's birthday, 84. Jesuit adds up to 84. There's a ton of 84 stuff. 84 is 31 years ago too. They've been coding 31 a decent amount of times. Like even when the Golden State Warriors, Golden State adds to 122. They won 122 days after Valentine's Day, but they play in Oakland, which is 31. And Andre Iguodala was the MVP, and he didn't start. He didn't come in as a starter and start doing well until 6-11, and the 6th prime number is 13, and the 11th prime number is 31. The mirrors. He was also number 9, and he guarded, or he went in to guard LeBron James, so it was 9 and number 23, 923. But anyway, it says Gifford was the first round pick by the Giants in 1952. So completely makes sense with the Queen. 1952 was when he was drafted. The Queen became queen in 1952. And I'm just going to pull it up on here. So he was also the 11th pick, so literally 1952, and then 111. This year in baseball, it'll be the 111th World Series. There's a ton of stuff with 111 as well. The Queen was born on 4/21, which is the 111th day, with 111 days left, is September 11th. It even says he was born on 8/16, and I think that was one of the things I wrote down was he was born the same day as his wife, Kathy Lee Gifford here, 8/16. I mean, that's a really significant day. The Georgia Guidestones and all that, but I mean, seriously, so she's 61 years old. And all these numbers keep popping up in like a Civil War, domestic violence type theme that they've been running in the media. So his wife was 61. Even in 61, the Civil War started in 1861. Obama was born in 1961. They've been kind of like mirroring Abraham Lincoln's death, just like they did with JFK. I'm sure you've all heard all them things with JFK. They've been mirroring it with Obama as well, so just interesting. He even says something about her in high school. She was a folk singer, or in a folk group called Pennsylvania Next Right, and which is weird because I don't know. It says she's from Paris, but I guess actually she grew up in Bowie, Maryland. But still, it's just kind of weird. Pennsylvania Next Right. I mean, I know it's close to Pennsylvania and whatever, but anyway, going to move back to Frank Gifford here. So the 61 I said was all about the Civil War. It even says like he was 6'1", and his weight, 89 kilograms, dies on 8-9. I know that seems ridiculous, but that's how they do it. Even like his career NFL statistics, his rushing average, 4.3, rushing TDs, 34, receiving TDs, 43. They even have the 4-3-4 right here. And that is all about the theme that they've been running. And there's absolutely just a ton of stuff with 34, 43, and 61, all dealing with the Civil War. And I mean, you might think that I'm just like blowing smoke here, but I've shown it so many times. And if you go back and watch the previous videos, I mean, since probably Valentine's Day, maybe a little bit before, I've been showing a lot of this over and over and over. It's in all kinds of news stories. So, I mean, one time you think, all right, okay, whatever. But when it's over and over and over. So, I mean, the 43 all has to do with, like, Abraham Lincoln was born on the 43rd day of the year, became president on 3-4. Kansas became the 34th state. It was the last state to become a state before the Civil War, and it was 34 days before 4-3. Even the 20th Amendment changed the president from being president on 3-4 to 1-20, or January 20th, which is 43 days before 3-4. And it even, the first president to begin his presidency on 1-20 was the 34th president even. Obama is the 43rd person to be president. Like I'm saying, there is just a ton of stuff here. Even the Harbaugh, where it was the two Harbaughs coaching each other in the Super Bowl. That adds up to 34. And even the power went out for 34 minutes. I think the score, can't even remember. The score added up to 34 or something like that. There's a ton of stuff with it. It's just insane. But even this 8/16 here, that's his birthday. He would have been 85 on 8/16. All I can think about is that one. There's a commercial where literally it's something to do with your credit score. It's on all the time. And they say, oh, my credit score is 816, and then they go, 816, 816. Here's the commercial I'm talking about. It shows 816, whatever. I'm not going to really play the whole commercial, but just so you can reference it. She even calls him Larry and then Lawrence in the beginning, which is a total Kansas reference, and even Kansas City's 122. And in my Philadelphia Experiment series, I even talk about Lawrence, Kansas, and the significance of the Civil War and the Pope coming. So it even says he participated in 5 NFL championship games and 8 Pro Bowls, so the 58. And that has like been crazy this last couple weeks. So I'm not even really going to go that in depth. Just I seen the 52 when I looked at this, and the 111, and then it was on 8-9, and it had to do with the Queen, and then I seen the 52, whatever. Like I said, I'm sure I could find a ton more stuff, but I actually have a couple better videos that I want to get out, so maybe I'll come back to this if I find a little bit more. And then I do want to just talk about the reason that I even just found it really interesting is because I wrote some of the stuff down a long time ago, back in like probably March or something, and it was about Sonny Bono, and he 44th even, but basically, so he died January 5th, 1998 from a skiing accident or whatever. He ran into a tree. But the thing is that, let me pull it up here. So yeah, he died from a skiing accident on January 5th, 1998. But then this guy, RFK's son, he died 6 days later, or 6 days earlier from the same thing. Now, that's pretty crazy. What are the odds of that? That 2 famous people die from skiing accidents at 2 different places. I mean, I never hear of anybody dying in a ski accident. I mean, very rarely. And then 2 famous people it happens to within 6 days. And not saying it doesn't happen, just saying that, it just hasn't been in the news. Like, I haven't really seen any big stories about it ever since these 2 happened. But this guy was actually married to Frank Gifford's daughter. So, yeah, it's Victoria Gifford. That's who he was married to. They even got married 34 years ago on Pi Day. But, so he died at age 39. Hold on a second. He's even born on 2/27, which is Valentine's, Julian. It's also 227 is the 49th prime. 22 divided by 7 is pi 3.14. I mean, just tons of stuff. But like I said, he died at the age of 39, but he died in Aspen, Colorado, which is on 39 North and 106 West. And 106 we've been talking about with Philadelphia, the Philadelphia train wreck that had the 601 on it on the front of it, and then it was going 106 miles an hour. Man, Obama winks at 106 and iPet Goat 2. Michael Jordan even retired on 10-6, like 106. And I've talked about Michael Jordan and the significance with him and Space Jam and Valentine's and all kinds of stuff in previous videos. I mean, it's so much I can't even list it all. I don't know where it is now. I remember reading something, though, or I have it written down, that his favorite book was called 39 Steps by, like, John Buchan or something like that. So it's just kind of weird. He died at 39 on a degree of 39. I think it was, 39 North. And then his dad's favorite book was something 39. Even Frank Gifford, he supposedly cheated on or maybe not cheated, but had an affair with Johnny Carson's wife, supposedly. And I mean, this doesn't really have to mean that much. It doesn't necessarily connect to it. But when I was reading through him, Johnny Carson, it talked about his early career and how he went on the Jack Benny show and impersonated Jack Benny or something and said that he had stole some of his moves or whatever. And Jack Benny, for one, he was born on Valentine's Day, but it says his character would always be 39 years of age, regardless of his actual age. Now, why in the world? Like, do people not think about that? Like, even back in the day, didn't you think that was odd that he'd play a 39-year-old and not a 40-year-old or anything else? Why would he always be 39 years old? I mean, it's all about the numbers, I guess. And man, this video isn't even really all about Frank Gifford, so I just wanted to make a short video that turned into 15 minutes, but just pointing out, it's 8-9. It's all about the Queen, and then, like, the reason that he died most likely was because of this right here, the 1952. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to stop it right here. I'm sure there's tons more. I could take a few hours and find stuff. Like he says he retired in 61 and then came back in 62. But yeah, whatever. Leaving it at that, I want to talk about the movie Trainwreck and the number 5885. A lot of stuff coming up. So anyway, have a good night.